Destination Space coverage right now at 5:50. Nearly 300 days after they lifted off from our Space Coast, Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, the Starliner astronauts, they are about to return to Earth. Their mission, originally intended to last just over a week, instead extended to almost 9 months out of concerns about the safety of their craft. Well, the pair set to splash down off the Florida coast just moments from now, along with 2 other members of the Crew-9 mission. As we await their landing, we want to bring in Spectrum News space expert Greg Pallone. Greg, you know, the process of bringing Butch and Suni home started in earnest, what, about 18 hours ago?
Yeah, they left the space station, Tammy, at 1:05 a.m., so you can count the hours right there, a long journey, but not as long as their stay has been on the International Space Station. You mentioned that they originally were set for an 8-day test mission. Well, unfortunately, with the Boeing Starliner issues that they had, NASA just not comfortable with sending those 2 back in that test vehicle, so they decided to go ahead and keep them up on the orbiting outpost, and as we have seen, now marks 286 days in space that they have been aboard the International Space Station. One of the milestones that has happened in the splashdown countdown, the deorbit burn has taken place. That's slowing the spacecraft down from that incredible 17,500 miles an hour in Earth orbit to slow it down to get it ready for this parachute-assisted splashdown taking place in the Gulf of America, just off the coast, really, of Tallahassee is about where the angle is. That is where the recovery ship Megan is sitting and waiting to receive these astronauts, one cosmonaut, I should say, as well, after this mission. The last time that we have seen a daylight splashdown, you have to go back to Crew-9. That is when this same Freedom capsule splashed down there in, at that time, the Gulf of Mexico. So this capsule certainly seeing a bit of history as they are returning these 2 NASA astronauts that have been on board the International Space Station for so long. Now members of Crew-9. Let's talk a little bit about the other crew members besides Butch and Suni. You have Nick Hague, who's the commander of Crew-9, and also cosmonaut Aleksandr Gorbunov. Those 2 have been less stay at the International Space Station after heading up and essentially giving Butch and Suni a ride back to Earth after all this time. We talked a little bit about Butch and Suni spending 286 days in space on one mission. That's not even close to a record. Frank Rubio leads the way with 371 days, and 5 other astronauts, including Rubio, have spent more time in space, but still 286. That is a whopping amount of time. We're getting some incredible live pictures, parachute deployed, the capsule coming down with the 3 astronauts and a cosmonaut. Just incredible views from the Freedom Crew Dragon as it will be slowing down to land there in the Gulf of America off Florida's west coast. 5:57 is what we're looking at. That's about 3 minutes from now. The crews, the Crew-9, they, again, as we had talked about a 16, 17-hour journey home. Going to be splashing down here in just a couple of minutes. But again, you know that Butch and Suni relish their extra time in space, but I'm sure they're looking forward to seeing family, friends, and their pets. We know that Suni has her dogs, and she's very excited about that. So that's something that they're certainly going to be looking forward to after this splashdown. I'm going to go ahead and step aside, and we're going to listen into the commentary as we have a Crew Dragon with Crew-9 landing in the Gulf of America, returning 2 astronauts home who have spent a lot of time in space.
You can see those parachutes continuing to slow the Dragon capsule down.
And if you're just joining us, you're looking at
800 meters.
A live view of Crew-9 just minutes away from splashing down off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida. Splashdown 2 minutes from now at 2:57 p.m. Pacific. We do have 4 healthy mains really doing the job there. Just breathtaking views of a calm, glass-like ocean off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida. Crew-9 just minutes away from splashing down.
This is really such an incredible shot. That
Copy,
was
600.
That was a live view from our recovery vessel, Megan, which is stationed a couple miles away from the splashdown site. We can see the crew there using their restraints as resting places for their arms. They were just in space moments ago, so their arms were able to float freely.
400 meters.
This is a gorgeous bluebird day here that we have for the splashdown of Crew-9. It's incredible to think that the Dragon capsule just minutes ago was going over 17,000 miles per hour, and now gently coasting to a soft splashdown.
200.
Copy, 200 meters. Brace for splashdown.
As you can see there on your screen, continuing to monitor progress of the Dragon spacecraft. And we're going to stand by for splashdown located in the Gulf of America off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
And splashdown. Crew-9 back on Earth.
Remarkable, the return of Crew-9 after a lengthy mission for 2 NASA astronauts, no doubt hitching a ride on a Crew Dragon capsule after having issues with their Boeing Starliner spacecraft during a test mission in June of last year. They've been up there for now 9 months or so, and so it's been a long journey. 286 days in space for Butch, Wilmore, and Suni Williams, hitching a ride with fellow crew members, Nick Hague, who's the commander, and also Aleksandr Gorbunov, who is the cosmonaut on this mission. They are home. They are waiting for recovery, and they are sitting tight, no doubt feeling the effects of gravity. So they haven't felt that for quite some time. So again, a right on time 5:57 parachute assisted splashdown there in the Gulf of America off the coast of Tallahassee. And now the recovery begins as they go out there to get those astronauts with recovery ship Megan. Tammy, just absolutely incredible.
Absolutely stunning. I am so glad that this is happening during the daytime so we can see it. The views have been astonishing. You know, when we're looking at the astronauts and the cosmonaut coming back, you just wonder what is going through their minds when they're sitting there strapped in, knowing that we're going to be back on Earth and it's happening right now. It's absolutely incredible to be able to see them inside the capsule and then to see outside. Can't wait to see until they open
Absolutely.
this. So tell me a little bit more. You're a space expert. What is going to happen next? What's the process for recovering this capsule, and how long will this take?
Well, it won't take long. Recovery ship Megan is right there in the vicinity. It will pull up and recover the Crew Dragon capsule with the crew on board. They will get them on the recovery ship, and then they will help the astronauts off their spaceship because, again, they're feeling the effects of gravity they have not felt in quite some time. So they're going to need assistance with getting out of the crew capsule. They'll be on board Megan, the recovery ship, as they help them. And it won't take long because they need to get them out of that capsule for their own safety, just in case any issues do pop up. They have this plan in place, and they will recover them very, very quickly along with their spacecraft, Tammy.
I know that their families, Greg, they're eagerly waiting to reunite with them and friends as well, and Sunny's dogs, but they cannot just come right out of this capsule and get cleaned up and go home, right? There's going to be a process.
There is. They'll be retrieved from the capsule, helped assisted out of the capsule. Then they'll take a helicopter to the mainland, if you will. That's where they will hop on board a NASA jet. They'll head to Johnson Space Center in Houston. Unfortunately, they're going to have a couple of days of recovery, so they will be in the crew quarters there at the Johnson Space Center. Flight surgeons will be checking them out, making sure their health is good and that they're okay, run tests and all the different gamuts that they're going to go through to make sure that they are okay to be released. And in a couple of days, hopefully their health will be good enough and they will be able to send them home to their loved ones.
That's incredible. And we know because of technology, of course, that they're not going to be able to hug and embrace their family members and see them face to face, but they can use that technology and talk to them by phone until they're actually released to go back.
Yeah, reunion is imminent, you can say that. And especially for Butch and Suni, after spending so long up in space. But both of them took this mission in stride. Every time we heard from them, they were very optimistic. They were very happy that they were getting that extended stay up in space. Astronauts don't know sometimes if they'll ever fly again. So they relish the time, no doubt. They got a lot of work done, more experiments, spacewalk. So the time was used wisely, and this data that is collected will be used as well to study human long duration space missions through Butch and Suni, no doubt. Tammy.
Greg, thank you so much for your expertise. It has really been fascinating to watch this entire process. Well, as NASA crews go through the process to get Butch and Suni out of this capsule, our coverage is going to continue around the clock. You can also keep up with all of our Destination Space coverage online. You can simply scan our QR code right here and download the free Spectrum News app to stay up to date even when you're on the go.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest information, balanced coverage, weather updates every 10 minutes, and more. We'll see you then.